this flight, the RPG could still detonate. By the time Moss arrives at the hospital, he has lost about half the blood in his body, and his golden hour has passed. Moss is rushed into the operating room before anyone has had a chance to mention what he's got inside. Major John O is explaining a shredder's tape.
As we're taking the bristles off, I see the long metal rod sticking out of his pelvis. Immediately recognize it as the tail end of an RPG. I had never actually seen a rocket propelled RPG. My initial reaction was fear. I was afraid it was going to explode.
What Dr. O should do is get this man out of his hospital.
Somebody with a piece of unspoken ordnance. The protocol is to actually separate them from all the other casualties. You actually expect them to die.
Army protocol sees Private Moss as a dead man walking, but Major O sees a man fighting to stay alive.
There's a major dilemma here, because as a physician, I can't watch somebody die. If I do treat this patient, I may kill him, myself, and destroy the aid station at the same time. I was only certain of one thing. If I didn't get this out, Channing Moss is going to die for sure. I decided in my own mind that we had to treat him, so I asked for 3 volunteers. I know how to do surgery, but I don't know anything about ordnance or rocket-propelled grenades.
Except one thing.
If I move him or rattle him, this thing might explode.
Major O is now committed to helping Moss. But for this unusual surgery, he'll need help from a bomb disposal expert.
First thing I see is he's got a rocket inside him. And I went from being, star-eyed, like, oh my gosh, this looks cool, to, okay, what do we got to do?
Sergeant Dan Brown spells out the threat to the team.
It is an anti-vehicle rocket, so it has a lot of explosives. Within 10-15 feet of it, you would have fatal casualties. There would be nothing left of Channing Moss.
Most of the explosives in an RPG are in the conical warhead at the tip. But an X-ray reveals that part is missing. It must have snapped off as it hit the Humvee. But the detonator is still attached, and that too is full of explosives on a hair trigger. Even without its warhead, this RPG can still kill Moss and maim the surgical team.
I remember telling Dr. Oz, worst case scenario, you lose a finger. And he goes, we're surgeons, right?
The plan is to remove this thing as quickly as possible.
They'll have to be cautious. The detonator is extremely sensitive to vibration.
Scratching or slight movements could cause the detonator to fire.
But as soon as Dr. O tries to move the RPG, he sees the fins are snagging in Moss's flesh. The RPG is stuck.
It's really making me angry that this thing is still in there and I can't get it out.
So the best thing would be to cut the fins off.
Armed with a surgical hacksaw, Sergeant Brown starts to declaw the rocket.
It was just nice, smooth motions. All I thought about was tail fins, cutting the fins off.
The detonator is designed to explode under the slightest impact.
We can feel the vibrations and the tugging as he's doing this. At that point, I didn't care. I didn't care if I was going to lose my hands. All I knew was that this damn thing had to come out.
Now stripped of fins, the team attempt to extract the RPG. It won't pull out the way it went in. They'll have to drag it through Moss's abdomen. Dan cradles the detonator, risking his own hands.
I didn't want the surgeons to be directly in front of it because the detonator's exposed and the explosives are exposed. There's more chance of it going off. As they pushed it through, I just continued to hold it. There we go. We're clear. We're clear. And once it was removed, I took it outside.
Dan took the thing and left the room with it.
You can say it was like delivering a baby. I was proud that it was out, but I didn't want the baby.
Sergeant Brown blows up the rocket in a bunker. Suddenly, the intensity of the experience hits home.
I went and sat down. I just started shaking. It wasn't because I was worried about the exposure. It was the fact that I helped save the kid's life.
For For bomb disposal expert Dan Brown, it's the first time he's come face to face with someone his skills have saved.
We save lives every day. We save unknown countless number of lives. But to actually see the face, knowing my actions will help to save his life. And that was the release of everything.
Despite a wrecked pelvis and severe internal injuries, Channing Moss fought to get back on his feet. And just 10 weeks after being impaled, he stood up to receive his Purple Heart.
I'm going to be an example of Armor Strong.
After 3 years of physiotherapy, Channing has regained the muscle strength to walk again.
Granted, I'm not going to be normal, but I can work on getting back there. I just won't quit.
Channing is living proof that it's possible to survive being impaled. Like this electrician, who takes on a job he'll never forget.
My body's telling me this is serious.
This cop, whose night shift comes to a jarring end.
Went through me, a shift the body.
And this soldier, who never saw what hit him.
I get a big whack on the side of my head.
Quest will bring you compelling stories from history. Metal 360 puts you right in the war zone.
Look at where we off the big target.
We're not done. We're not even close to being done.
You get hit, you get hit. That's why war is hell.
Tune in to Dogfights every weeknight.
This is unbelievable.
Nothing at that time was routine when you go on a combat mission. It's right here.
Command Decisions explores the greatest battles.
A dramatic stroke was necessary to restore morale.
We attacked a certain place with certain force. Now we're being equal. Go over there. Now you're sitting behind them, and they've got a big problem.
The Lost Evidence.
We had no feeling of fear because this is the way we were trained.
To stop the rest, we were dead.
To fight together and do these things brings out the best qualities in mankind.
Speaking up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Raising our voices alone or together. Not just breaking news, but breaking barriers. Fighting for victory on the battlefield and on the playing field. Seeing the world through new eyes and the earth from miles above. Redefining beauty, brains, and what it really means to be queen. Making ourselves heard on the stage and on screen. Showing the way in Silicon Valley. And showing up for others wherever help is needed most. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
Quest will bring you compelling stories from history.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Belton, Texas, September 11th, 2001. It's 6:30 in the morning, and Deputy Sheriff Frank Hernandez has been working the night shift.
thinking, all right, a few more minutes and I'm off, I'm fixing to be home and go to bed.
But he can't relax just yet. A couple of weeks ago, Frank hit a deer on this stretch of highway, and he's nervous about hitting another one.
I'm approaching a creek area where there's a lot of deer crossing there, so I was just constantly on the lookout.
Scanning the woods by the side of the road, he doesn't see a truck with a wide load coming in the opposite direction.
As my head was turning, I could feel my head snapping back. I can remember feeling all the trauma, the pressure when it hit me in my face and my chest. I could just see stuff flying around in my car. It was just like in a dream.
The impact sends his car into a deep gully off the side of the road. When he comes to, he can't move.
I felt this very strong pain on my left side of my chest. Like somebody just squeezing the life out of it. So I noticed that something was stuck in me. Kind of went right through me. I couldn't move because I was impaled. I thought, man, what did I hit? It had a bunch of plastic and coatings of insulation, and all this stuff is inside me.
A few miles up the road, trucker Moses Aguilera thinks a hit-and-run driver has just clipped the corner of the mobile home he's towing.
Now look at my mirror, I saw a whole bunch of smoke and debris flying off, and then that car disappeared. It was hit and run.
Moses doesn't yet know that he's left a giant chunk of the mobile home behind, and it's in Frank's chest. Still pinned to his car in the gully, Frank grabs for his police radio.
The handheld radio is a lifeline. I looked down my side and I saw my radio had been kind of just ripped apart. My cord to my radio was actually going into my shirt. I thought, what in the world?
Frank's radio is smashed, and the cord has been snapped and dragged inside his body. And worse, the battery has been thrown from the car in the crash, so the siren won't work.
I can actually hear the car on the roadway pass by. I'm just shouting, help, help, somebody help me.
But Frank is out of earshot of passing cars. Trapped and helpless, impaled on the 8-foot-long piece of mobile home, the debris inside Frank is plugging his wounds, stemming the flow of blood. For the time being. But without help, he knows he'll soon bleed to death.
In my line of work, I've seen people dead in vehicles, trapped in vehicles, and I've got to get out of the vehicle to survive. I literally tried to rip my arm off, rip that skin off the flesh so I could just get away and get out of my car. But it wasn't happening because I was pretty well stuck.
Frank can still hear passing cars on the road above, and he realizes he has one last option.
I'm going to shoot my weapons off. Somebody might hear the bullets. Car kept going by. And eventually I fired over 40, almost 50 rounds.
But nothing. It's now 45 minutes since he was impaled.
Now I can see the sun coming up. I thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it, because nobody's found me by now. I started writing a letter to my wife, telling her that if I didn't make it, that I was going to do it. And, this way,
20 miles away, trucker Moses Aguilera is taking a look at the mobile home he's been transporting.
I decided to check the trailer and see how much damage it had. And then I noticed 3 little drops of blood on the back door.
Moses suspects there's more to this hit and run than he first thought.
I had a feeling either something was wrong or somebody was hurt.
He feels compelled to return to the crash site. It's now 3 hours since Frank was impaled.
When I went down the hill, he had a 2x6 stick in his chest. I said, oh my God, somebody's dead.
But Frank isn't dead. Not yet.
He was still alive and begging me to take it out. And I told him that I couldn't. then I call 911.
It seemed like seconds later when I started hearing sirens going off.
Deputies from Frank's own department rushed the scene, and rescue services cut through the door pillar to release the board and Frank from the car. 4.5 hours after his crash, Frank finally arrives at the hospital with a chunk of the mobile home still inside him.
This was the most impressive, certainly the largest foreign body that I've ever seen in a patient. This thing went through him very quickly. The mobile home was actually coming towards him, so they were probably closing at each other at more like 80 miles an hour. If you can imagine vinyl siding on it, ripping through the tissue.
Dr. Smith sends the cop to X-ray, expecting to see Frank's internal organs have taken a beating.
I was concerned about a collapsed lung, and it could have even damaged his heart.
But it's hard to see anything except the contents of Frank's car dragged into the wound.
The mic cord was pulled into the defect. These are large staples. You can see here a shell casing.
Dr. Smith finally zones in on Frank's heart and lungs.
You can see the border of the heart right there, and that's normal. The black area represents the lung itself. It was remarkable, and it appears to be completely inflated.
Astonishingly, Frank's heart and lungs are in perfect shape. The chunk of mobile home passed outside Frank's ribcage, causing no serious damage, just a horrific flesh wound.
To remove the board was really not very difficult. It probably took about 2 minutes to divide the flap of skin and underlying tissue so that we could lift the board out of his body.
This is my lung. We have an entrance wound here. Came out to the rear part of my shoulder here. It's very similar to a gunshot wound. We have a smaller entrance wound and a larger exit wound.
Dr. Smith found it was Frank's bulletproof vest that protected him from something a lot bigger than a bullet.
He was severely injured, but it could have been much, much worse. That steel plate deflected the wood away from his lung and probably saved his life.
Frank survived being impaled for over 4 hours because his bulletproof vest protected his internal organs when he hit the mobile home.
The board was coming straight to my heart, instead of my chest. And the vest did his job and moved it away just enough to miss my lungs and heart. That vest saved my life.
Just 2 months after being impaled, Frank was back on patrol. A survivor, like Ron Hunt.
Are you kidding? What's going on?
And Dan Powers.
Thought for a moment I might have been shot.
With amazing tales of innovation, Quest answers, how did they do that?
We try to push the envelope with every new development.
Technology is expanding every day.
Welcome to the 21st century. Things are going to be different.
Quest presents the acclaimed series Modern Marvels.
It is evolving all the time with new components, new technology.
There are many, many things that we do every day that we benefit from as a result of space technology.
This robot learning has saved his life, and that's very powerful stuff.
It really is a compilation of a whole host of some of the largest and most exotic machines in the world.
The detonators shake up Saturdays.
When it comes down to it, there is some sort of art to it.
And Massive Moves is yet another thrilling series on Quest.
railroad truckers don't have nothing on us.
Here's what's coming up next on Quest.
It's August 15th, 2003, when Ron Hunt and his buddy Forrest Keating arrive at a residential construction site in Truckee, California, ready for a day's work.
We're gonna start installing the wiring in the house. I told Forrest, you start drilling this bedroom here, and I'll start drilling the garage.
Something that we've done, both of us, thousands of times. It's just a normal day.
I was just using the standard high-speed, low-power drill, the drill bit, which I use is an 1.8" diameter by 18 inches long, and it's 4 directly going through thick wood, beams, whatever you have to go through it. On probably about 4 feet on a 6-foot ladder, and I started drilling to the top plate.
Ron's having trouble drilling into a loose block.
My drill bit wasn't biting on it, so I had to push so my drill bit would bite on that block. And when I gave a big push, it was so instantaneous. The ladder kicked out, and the drill bit and I fell down. It was just like a crunching sound, like that's the bones breaking right here.
Ron's on the ground, pinned by his own drill.
I just steered myself right on top of it. I started running my hands up the drill bit. I go, are you kidding me? What's going on? And then I reach around, and I'm feeling a bit on its way out. I'm like, half the bit's through my head. It broke half the side of my face.
Ron can't believe he's not dead already, but he's losing blood fast.
The blood was like gushing out like a waterfall. And I yelled, Forrest, help! Help! Forrest, help! Forrest, help!
I thought I heard something. Stopped the drill and paused for a second. And I knew something was wrong. That's not a normal scream. I come around the corner and I see Ron leaning over the drill bit with the bit sticking out of the top of his skull. I was surprised he was still alive. There had only been 15, 20 seconds since he's been screaming my name, and there was a pint of blood on the ground. And I realized he's going to bleed out ridiculously quick if I don't stop this.
He's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I go, Forrest, get over here. You gotta stop the bleeding.
I took a shirt off my back, wrapped around his eye socket and the bit.
Forrest's improvised dressing staunches the flow of blood.
I go, you gotta dial 911. He goes, I don't have my cell phone.
That was just one of the days that I didn't have my phone on me.
I said, run. Go call for help. 911.
With Forrest gone to raise the alarm, Ron balances on his arms, trying not to put pressure on his brain.
I was angry, seriously thinking I was gonna die. I was wishing my 2 boys were there to help me, to be with me in case I die. You know, I just wanted to be able to hold her hand.
Forrest makes the call to the police.
He goes, Ron, it'll be okay. Help was on its way.
He was scared. We were both